The story begins with a man named Tim. One night, his wife Polly returns home from work, looking deeply upset. Tim asks her if they canceled the fridge she had been working on. Polly had designed a fridge that could tell people exactly what they wanted. She explains that it knows the user because the company hid a camera behind the panel. Polly was completely against this invasion of privacy. So she quit her job and walked out. And now the company wants their flat and everything else back. Polly is devastated as she has to work, and Tim stays home and looks after the kids. Tim starts telling Polly about how their children are doing. None of them show any interest in real-life activities. They are completely addicted to their phones and technology. Tim feels like their childhood is slipping away. He believes he is failing them. But then Tim gets an idea. He reminds Polly of a dream they shared 15 years ago. The family boards a train and heads off into the countryside. Their eldest daughter, Beth, says that this is pure madness. Their son, Joe, only wants to know will there be Wi-Fi. They finally arrive at the station. The phone signal drops from 5G all the way down to a single bar. There are no taxis anywhere in sight, so the family begins walking on foot. Along the way, their youngest daughter, Fran, spots a purse lying in the grass. Someone hidden in the woods is watching her closely. Fran shuts her eyes tight and pushes the purse forward. It flies straight into the hands of the woman. Tim has bought a place from a local farmer. The deal is simple. He will pay by the end of summer. He plans to grow tomatoes, make his own pasta sauce, and sell it. The whole property only costs £20,000. That is because it is just a barn. Random junk lies scattered everywhere inside. Beth screams when she realizes there is no electricity. The landline does not work either. The kitchen is in terrible shape. Just then, the farmer arrives to welcome them, but his thick accent is impossible to understand. Joe asks him if he has Wi-Fi. The farmer proudly says of course he has Wi-Fi. He brings his wife outside and points at her. "Here's my Wi-Fi." The farmer's wife warns them sternly, "Close your windows at night, and never go into the woods up on the hill." Some folks say the place is enchanted. That is the real reason this property was so cheap. That night, everyone is freezing. There is no central heating in the barn. Tim announces that this is the perfect time for a family song. He starts singing with full enthusiasm, but his kids get up one by one and walk off to bed. Tim ends up singing the family song completely alone. Later, Polly tucks Fran into bed. She tells her daughter that she used to talk all the time, but now, Fran barely says a word. Fran looks up and says she saw a fairy today. Polly later tells Tim that Fran actually spoke to her tonight. As Fran sleeps, the fairy comes outside her room. She has brought a pixie along with her, but the pixie clearly does not want to be there. He says, "You are a fairy. Aren't fairies supposed to be small and fly about the place?" But this fairy is huge. She tempts the pixie with pop cakes to push him forward, but he is too scared to move. So the fairy shoves him hard from behind. The pixie carries the fairy's letter and delivers it right to Fran. But Fran rolls over in her sleep, and she grabs the pixie tight. The next morning, Fran wakes up and finds the fairy's letter beside her. The fairy is calling her to the faraway tree. Silky also asks Fran to bring a gift along. Fran quietly slips out and follows the path Silky described. Nobody pays much attention to her leaving. There are warning signs all around the woods. But Fran ignores every single one, just as Silky told her to. She finally reaches a massive tree. Silky's letter instructs her to close her eyes and say, "I believe in magic," 3 times. The moment Fran does this, the tree bends down toward her. Fran steps inside and arrives in a magical hidden world. Following Silky's instructions, she sits on a swing and gets carried upward. Inside one tree, the moment he sees Fran, he screams and slams his door shut. Fran climbs higher and reaches a house built inside a giant tree. On the wall, there is a picture of a man named Moonface posing with a child. Moonface is shocked to see her standing there. He demands to know who she is. Silky quickly steps in and introduces Fran to him. Moonface declares that humans are forbidden from entering the enchanted woods. But Silky reminds him that humans are allowed if they bring gifts. Fran shows her gift to Moonface. He accepts it, saying he should master this then. Silky now introduces Fran to another friend named Saucepan Man. His entire body is covered in saucepans, which means he can barely hear a thing. All of them live together inside this one enormous tree. From above, a woman named Dame Washalot keeps throwing dirty water down as she washes her clothes. There is also a man named Mr. What's-his-name. He cannot even remember his own name. Every single day, a brand new land appears at the top of the faraway tree. Dame Washalot knows everything about these magical lands. Today, the land of goodies has arrived. But Fran must leave before the land turns. Otherwise, she will be stuck up there forever. Fran climbs a long staircase that disappears through the clouds and into the land above. The moment they enter the land of goodies, they are told the only rule. Don't be greedy. There are countless tasty treats everywhere. Silky gives Fran a special pop cake that pops the second it enters her mouth. This land also has the most delicious marshmallows out of every single land. Meanwhile, back home, Tim is trying to fix an old tractor. Joe's video game battery runs out completely. Tim tells him to go play with other human beings for a change. And that is when they realize something. Where is Fran? Could she have wandered off into those woods? Back in the land of goodies, Fran has gathered a huge pile of treats. But the lands are about to change any second now. And Fran still hasn't tasted the marshmallow. Instead of leaving with the others, she runs straight toward the marshmallows. The marshmallows suddenly grab her and refuse to let go. An officer appears and shouts that she is now going straight to a greedy prison. Back home, Polly and Tim are frantically searching for Fran everywhere. Silky suddenly realizes that Fran is no longer with them. They rush back and try to free her from the marshmallows. The officer yells that all of them are going to prison now. But they manage to rescue Fran from the marshmallows just in time. They escape the land at the very last second. The officer is left behind, unable to do a thing. Fran slides down through the faraway tree and exits safely back into the woods. Tim turns on Beth and tells her this is partly her fault. She should have been playing with Fran instead of sitting alone in her room. Beth fires back that this is actually his fault. He filled Fran's head with rubbish about some wood full of joy and wonder. But just then, Fran walks in from behind them. When they ask her where she was, she calmly says she was in the wood, and that it really is enchanted. She tells them all about Silky, Saucepan Man, and Moonface. Her siblings instantly think she has gone completely crazy, but her parents are just happy that Fran is finally speaking again. They tell her that next time she wants to go there, she has to take her siblings along. The next day, Tim heads to the river to fetch water for his tomatoes. But his watering can has a hole in it, and the water leaks out completely. That is when Polly steps in. She has an idea for an irrigation system. She and Tim start working closely together. But on the other side of the house, Beth is busy writing a secret letter to her grandmother. Her parents had strictly forbidden her from telling the grandmother anything. Beth writes that they have become poor and shifted to the countryside. She says her dad is making a complete fool of himself, and her mom is shamelessly supporting him through all of it. Tim and Polly successfully build a greenhouse and install the entire irrigation system inside it. Meanwhile, Joe is going through extreme withdrawal problems without his devices. Fran keeps begging the others to come with her into the enchanted woods. Beth is not getting along with the local kids at all. Their conversations feel completely different from her city talk. Beth quietly posts the letter to her grandmother. Her grandmother, who is currently refusing to have tea with the King of England, receives this letter. Beth is now completely fed up with her parents. And once again, Fran begs her to come along. Beth gives in, muttering that anything is better than being stuck here. On the way, they pass all the warning signs. Fran tells Beth to ignore every one of them. They finally reach the giant tree. Fran instructs Beth to close her eyes and say, "I believe in magic." But Beth refuses to play along. She mocks the whole ridiculous idea. The moment she says, "I believe in magic," real magic begins unfolding right before her eyes. They climb onto the swings and rise up the tree. The pixie is the first one to appear in front of them. Fran proudly introduces Beth to all the others. Silky steps forward and says she is Silky, named after her silky golden hair. Beth shoots back sarcastically, asking if that is really how she defines herself. Silky still asks Beth to be her friend. But then Dame Washalot's dirty water comes splashing down right on top of Beth. Today, the land of birthdays has arrived at the top of the tree. Beth flatly refuses to go up there with them. She decides to stay back below. Up in the land of birthdays, snow is gently falling everywhere. Here, every single day is your birthday. and every wish you make instantly comes true. Saucepan Man, at Joe's suggestion, wishes that he had no saucepans on him at all. Joe then wishes that he could turn into his own video game character. Silky wishes to become the fairiest small fairy with proper wings. The moment her wish is granted, she can actually fly through the air. Fran has always hated the sound of her own voice, so she wishes for someone else's voice. But the voice she gets now is even worse than before. She quickly asks to change her wish, but she learns that wishes can never be changed once made. Back down at the faraway tree, Dame Washalot is explaining all the lands to Beth. She tells her that almost every land is wonderful. The only exception is the land of Dame Snap. That place is basically a prison. Beth then decides to head up to the land of birthdays herself. Washalot hands her the washed clothes belonging to the birthday elves. The moment Beth enters the land, she makes her wish. She wishes that her dad's dumb tomato dream fails completely, so they can finally go back home. But once inside, she discovers the stupid wishes her siblings have already made. So she approaches the elves and offers to return their clothes. In exchange, she wants their wishes reversed. The elves tell her there is a man who lives in the basement beneath this land. He might be the only one who can help her. They all head down to meet this man named Boom Boom. At first, he flatly refuses to help any of them. But the moment he lays eyes on Silky, his attitude completely changes. He agrees instantly. Boom Boom is a dealer in valuable artifacts. He has rare items from every single land. He says he can reverse their wishes using the door from the land of back to front. They simply have to step inside and say their wishes out loud. The wishes will reverse automatically. But Boom wants something in return because he is a dealer after all. He demands Silky. He claims it is for Santa Claus himself. Santa supposedly offered him good money to find the most beautiful fairy in all the lands. Moonface immediately refuses the deal. But Silky herself agrees willingly. She says being with Santa Claus might actually be fun. Beth stands there in shock. She cannot believe Silky is doing this for them. She quietly tells Silky that maybe they really could be friends. Boom Boom snaps at them to hurry up. He sends the others into the magical door. Inside, everything is happening backwards. Joe successfully reverses his wish. Meanwhile, Boom Boom locks Silky inside a box. But this box is not heading to Santa Claus at all. It is going straight to Dame Snap. Beth happens to overhear his evil plan. She quickly alerts the others, and they rush back to rescue Silky. Boom Boom panics and points a gun straight at Moonface. But Saucepan Man jumps in and saves them all just in time. The land is about to change at any second. Silky also returns with her wish properly reversed. The whole group barely escapes and makes it out safely. Silky gives Beth a beautiful flower to wear in her hair. The three of them slide down the tree and finally make it back outside. But when they reach home, their grandmother has already arrived. She is furious with all of them. She demands to know how they are going to pay for this house. The kids quickly bring out their tomato sauce idea. Grandma immediately fires off sharp questions. How will they pay for their manufacturing expenses? Tim answers that Polly has designed and built everything they need. He proudly shows her the irrigation system and the greenhouse design. But Grandma coldly replies that all these things have already been invented long ago. She says she is extremely disappointed in Polly. Tim insists that they are genuinely happy here. Grandma turns to Beth and asks her what she thinks. She offers Beth to stay with her. Grandma promises she will even attend their grand tomato sauce launch. And then she will rescue them all from this miserable life. She thanks Beth in front of everyone for sending that letter. And just like that, the whole family discovers Beth's secret betrayal. Tim quietly walks away in pain to turn the electricity on. He has even arranged Wi-Fi for them now. That night, Beth video calls her city friends. But suddenly, the electricity cuts off completely. The truth is that Tim has been generating their electricity manually by pedaling a cycle. And Beth witnesses this with her own eyes. Meanwhile, Polly pulls out an old dream binder to show their children. Inside it, they had once drawn all of their childhood dreams. Polly tells them that their dad grew up around here, and his own father used to grow tomatoes just like they are doing now. But Tim's father died suddenly when Tim was still very young. The binder reveals that Tim once wanted to be a rock star, but he gave up that dream entirely to look after the kids. Polly explains that one of their biggest dreams was to live out here in the countryside. She admits that she knows how hard this has been, but their dad truly felt that they were all growing apart from each other. He hoped that a place like this might bring them all back together. And it is actually happening, because for the very first time, those kids sat together and spent real time as a family. The next day, Joe and Fran joined Tim in his tomato sauce work. The grand launch is now only 3 weeks away. Tim spots Beth putting up posters for the launch all over town. His heart fills with quiet joy. Then Fran receives another letter from Silky. The land of dreams will be at the top of the tree tonight. The whole group plans to head there after dark. For now, everyone is finally starting to enjoy their life here. Instead of their phones, they sit together and actually interact during dinner. But up at the faraway tree, the magical friends are wondering why the kids have not returned. The children forget all about visiting and fall asleep at home. Moonface sadly says that humans always forget about them once they grow up. The day of Tim's grand pasta launch finally arrives. The biggest tomato sauce company in the country is coming for it. But when Tim and the family go to check their tomatoes, every single one is completely ruined. Just yesterday, they were perfectly fine, but now they are suddenly crawling with maggots. This has happened because of Beth's wish in the land of birthdays. Everyone falls into a deep sadness. Tim prepares to cancel the entire launch, but Beth begs him to give them just a couple of hours. She rushes off with her siblings and tells them that all of this happened because of her wish, and now they have to be the ones to fix it. The three of them race to Silky for help. They can go to the land of spells and get a spell that will make the tomatoes healthy again. But the land of spells is months away from arriving at the tree. Today, the land of know-alls is up there instead, and if anyone could possibly tell them how to reach the land of spells, it would be the know-alls. But the know-alls keep doing the same thing. They simply repeat back whatever is said to them, smugly claiming we know all. When asked how to reach the land of spells, they finally reveal something useful. There is a land-hopping machine in the next room. Joe takes control of this strange aircraft-like machine and flies them straight to the land of spells. They quickly find a plant-growing spell, but the seller refuses to sell it. He wants something priceless, something that cannot be bought or sold by anyone. Everyone starts losing hope fast, but Fran suddenly says she has an idea. She begins singing her dad's family song right there. Her siblings join in one by one. Then everyone else joins them too, with Saucepan Man banging out beats on his saucepans. This song genuinely impresses the seller. He hands over the spell to them. They all head back through the sky. But on the way home, the aircraft starts losing power fast. Moonface explains that it is just tired. It is snoring because it has fallen asleep. They crash land below. The place is eerily empty and silent. That is because they have walked right into the land of Dame Snap. Dame Snap is a strict teacher. When Moonface laughs at her singing, she instantly threatens to slap him. Her real name used to be Dame Slap, but she is not allowed to hit her pupils anymore. And besides, no children even come here anymore. Dame Snap then asks What's-his-name what his name is. He desperately tries to remember it, but he simply cannot. Dame Snap sends him straight to detention. Beth quickly walks into the detention herself, hoping it will help them escape. The others follow her in, pulling all kinds of mischief along the way. But they end up getting locked inside a real prison disguised as detention. Moonface comments bitterly on Beth's terrible plan. He says he could think of a better plan now, but he is done helping humans for good. It clearly hurts Moonface deeply. Humans always enter their lives as little children, but they completely forget about them once they grow up. But Fran tells Moonface that her dad never forgot. He always told them the woods were full of fairies. The moment Tim's name is spoken, every single one of them freezes in shock. They all know Tim. He was Moonface's absolute favorite. Moonface becomes deeply emotional learning that Tim came back, and now he will help them no matter what. He places the growing spell on a potato and slides it between the prison bars. The potato grows huge and creates a gap, letting all of them slip through. They sprint to the aircraft. Dame Snap lets out a powerful scream, which wakes the aircraft up instantly. She runs after them in fury. Her scream is so strong that it knocks the aircraft straight down. But the aircraft recovers quickly and shoots back up into the sky. Back at the farm, people are already arriving for the grand launch. Tim is trying his best to stop them. He keeps shouting that the launch is cancelled. but nobody is listening to him. Behind his back, the kids quietly cast the spell on the greenhouse. And by the time the crowd walks inside, every tomato is perfectly fresh and healthy again. Polly and Tim are completely shocked. They cannot understand how any of this happened. Tim pulls his kids into a tight hug, saying he has no idea what they did. Beth steps in and joins the family hug too. Tim's tomato sauce becomes an instant hit with everyone present. Silky and the others quietly watch from away. When Tim steps away to the side, Moonface looks at him and softly says welcome home. Tim suddenly feels his old friend right beside him, but he cannot actually see Moonface. Tim gets deeply emotional in that moment. He still remembers his magical friend perfectly. And with that, friends, this story comes to an end right here. Do let us know in the comments how you liked this explanation. And don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel.